So I've made a start on the landing gear. So this is the right auxiliary gear, so the wing landing gear. So you got 4 pieces minus the wheel to make that up. All well, on the nose gear and these ones you're gonna have to push them apart to get the wheel on, which can be, well, I'll be careful. I haven't tried it yet because, like I said, the plastic's soft. When you spread that, it mightn't take much to break, but we'll see. I've done the so that's the right gear. So this is the nose gear, which I've assembled most of it. It's pretty busy. The reason I've put the wheel in now, usually I paint them off and put them on, but same thing, you got to push it up inside there, so the tabs go inside the holes on the hub. It's pretty firm fit, that one, and if you paint the wheel and push it on, it just scratches all the paint off. So all the landing gear is white. I'll paint it, and then I'll have to paint the tyre in by brush, which I don't like, but it's probably the best way for me to approach this. And I have to put a lens in the light yet, and there's 2 little legs that'll go on to attach to the gear door, but I won't put them on yet because it depends how it all lines up. They need to go to a specific area. That's loose at the moment. I don't want to glue it until I fit it to make sure everything sits where it's supposed to, same as that. Another reason I didn't glue that, well, I haven't glued that, sorry, is that's got weight on wheel, so I can move it to line it all up, because you got the belly wheels, the wing wheels, and the nose wheel touching the ground, hopefully. So this is the belly wheels, which is, I've glued it's really just the one part, and that put the actuator at the back. I glued that, and if it's slightly out, I'll be able to maneuver it, bend it a bit to position it when it goes into the model. The tyres, I've got 4 sprue gates on each tyre, and it's hard to, they're pretty thick, they're hard to clean up, so you chop them out the best you can, and then I just tried to come around with the blade inside and scoop it out and then sand it, because it's big chunky, and there's 4 in each one. The hubs have got steps like a collar, so they can only go one way. Same as the nose one was like that. I've put some decals on the weapons. That's the cartograph decals I mentioned in the review. They went down alright. I just used Microsol. Well, this time they're working for me so far. And I've done the pylon decals as well. I just need to give them a clear coat. Some of these don't sit where they would have you. Which way? Back here, was it? There we go. So your decal call outs for the pylons, but some of the areas where they have them sitting, you've got large raised pin detail that there's just no way the decals are going to conform. So I've just put them best I can. My experiment with that 3D decal on the deck cord, it did not work. It broke, ruined it. The kit, the decal sheet has a deck cord decal and I ruined that too. I put it on and it all curled up, and I tried to unfold it, and just wasn't happening, and I got the shits and just threw it. So I'm using the other canopy that has the molded in deck cord now, so I've just polished it and buffed it up and dipped it so it's over drying. So that was a huge fail. I should have just started with that one. I didn't think that, well, that was my experience. Others might get it. It just didn't work. So I haven't painted it yet. As you can see, I thought I'd do some of the landing gear, putting off the part I was least looking forward to. Alright, I've got the dark gull grey down on the underside. So now you can see I've masked off, ready for the gunship grey. If you look at images of this aircraft, they're pretty grubby and they see a lot of use by the looks of it. So it's not a hard-edged demarcation between the two colours, it's a feathered, softer edge. So that's what I'm going for on the fuselage. And the first panel line on the wing, underside of the wing, is the medium gunship grey. So that's why I've got that taped off there. That appears to be a bit more of a harder edge. And yeah, so it's all good to go. So I've kept it with that effect with the scourer. It's pretty, the effect showing through, because they're like I mentioned, they look very well weathered. So I've done the underside of the flaps and the ailerons. Now I'll do the medium gunship grey on top. So I shall begin painting that. Alrighty, medium gunship grey is down. I will, if required, do touch-ups where needed. So that looks alright. It's got the soft edge, which is what I wanted. I'll remove the Tamiya tape and then give it a clear gloss coat, and then check it if I need to touch it up anywhere, and then I think I should be able to start laying down. Oh, actually no, before I do that I'll do the tail. So the tail's black, and mask that off. Do the same, I'll prime it first, blue black, then charcoal and NATO black mottled over the top of it, just to suggest weathered paint. So that's all good. Starting to look the goods. Alrighty, I've got most of the decals down. Some of them, careful where I hold this, some of them I've just put on. For once, or for a while, been a while, I've had no issues. They went down fantastic. I just used Microsol. Most of them just one coat and it did the job. Some of them needed a couple of coats, like the black sheep marking on the side there. Just remember, if you're doing the open louvers or vents, doors, whatever they call on this thing, that when it comes time for your decals, that's gonna create a different challenge, whereas the other one's closed, no worries. This one, you'll have to, I'll show you what they've done, but you'll need some areas you might need to cut it so it rests down like I've done there, or I had to there. But they give you 2 sets of decals, so you can do, you got the whole one piece for the jet intake, or you've got a cut one, which is, so I use the light grey ones for this scheme, so I use the cut ones, which helped with that open doors. So you got options. Now they set really well, but be careful, especially with you got the, so I got the tail ones there. This is high vis one, the WE and the aircraft number and Marines, which is, this is for one of the other schemes, the camo scheme. That's one decal, and it's not solid, so it's just got carrier film where the stars are, which is good, which is what you want. But be careful when you take it off, because some decals, they want to curl up on themselves. I did one side, the whole decal, I had troubles with it, so the next one I cut it, I cut below the, I think I cut it up here, yeah, I cut there between the top of the W and that star, below the E, and down here, just to so I cut it. I had 3 pieces, and then you just line it up off your call out. It's just that, for me, was easier for me than trying to manipulate the whole decal, because it was being difficult. So really happy with that. You can see I've got a bit of primer there. I forgot to put on the there's 2 little photo etch wing fences, so I need to paint that in shortly. As mentioned, my 3D decal and kit, the water decal with foobar, so I've used the other canopy with the deck cord molded in. I'm not painting it. I had a go, tried with a bit of white. I got a Posca pen 0.7mm tip, but it wouldn't work. It kept running off the raised detail, so I'm just leaving it like that. It stands out. You can see it's deck cord. Yes, it's meant to be white, but I don't want to damage anymore because I have no options left. I need to, so I've got all these remaining parts I had yet to clean up, all the gear doors, the little piece for the tail that glues on the side of the tail. I'll paint that up and put it in now the decals are on, and the doors on the belly, gear doors, door at the front that sits in front of the gun pod there. So I've got to do them. That canopy that's not glued in. I've got to paint the outside of the frame. It sits that good. I don't even know. I'll glue it, but you probably don't even need to glue it because it's black with I think it's got like silver in it as well, so I've got to do that. So I did the, I can't remember if I showed or not, the decals are on the side winders. So I need to prime these and paint them up. Some of these remaining parts, the gear legs have decals that have to go on them. Some of these doors have decals that need to go on them. So I've got to do that as well once they're painted. I've decided I want to put this Harrier on a base. So I cut a piece of timber. I've got that taped off as I'm doing this. So you got cork here on top. I just cut it with a sharp blade ruler to represent concrete slabs. It's not perfect. I don't want it perfect. I've got a cracked one here, and I'm using this is Ammo MIG concrete. It's just an acrylic paste. They make all different ones. I've used some of them. I haven't used the concrete one, but it's the same. It's just a like I said, an acrylic paste, so just the colors vary, I guess, but just dab it in, just dab it on. It doesn't matter if the cork shows through, because that adds to the texture of your concrete. So if you go out and look at old concrete slabs, they'll have chips and whatnot going on with them. This is how this will show up. So even though this is a concrete color, I'm still going to paint it to break it up and add to the look of it. So it's that's a cheap brush, but it'll wash out with water and you can use them again. But I don't mind these things, but I find if you use them and you've got some left, do the lid up as tight as you can, because I find they dry out once they've been open. And they're, I don't know how, I can't remember how much I've had this one sitting around for ages, but they're not that cheap. So of course there's other ways you can do this too. I think can't remember now. I know Night Shift, Martin Kovac, he did some, can't remember what he used. He didn't use this. I think he might have used Tamiya putty and thinner or something. But yeah, there's many ways to do it. Of course, this is why I'm doing this. It'll be a bit uneven when it's dry. I'll come in and sand it down just to keep it somewhat level. So I won't bore you to death. That's just what's going on there. Decals are all dried. I've given it another clear gloss coat. The rear nozzles I've painted up a metallic smoke, and then I've sprayed some jet exhaust around the end of it to dirty it up. I can't really find a clear image up so close to this aircraft. Images I did find, it appears that they're a metal colour, so I just went with that. I put a bit of that jet exhaust on the edge of that plate as well. All the where's it? Gear legs, I've put all the decals on. Wing ones have got 4 each one. Other ones have got a couple on them. So I'm putting the wash on. I'm just doing my normal, the Flooring Models Dark Dirt wash. It's just the clay based wash, just wipes off, dries really quick. It's so easy to use, that's why I use it all the time. Then you just brush it on. Do it the whole model. If you want to dry it quicker, just use a hairdryer on it, but it doesn't take long. Then I'll wipe that back. The tail and the drop tanks, I'll have to do I've got some other ones there. I'll mix up a grey and white or something, because the dark dirt won't show up on the black as well. So I'll do that, and then I can start wiping all that back and putting things together. Alright, just about done with my base. It's total, I've just made it up. Reason I've did this section, a sheet of cork I had wasn't big enough to cover the whole surface, and these bits are a bit thicker, so I thought I'd do something different with them, just so make it look like it's actually part of the base. So I just used Tamiya tape to mask off the paint, all that. I've used random greys and a bit of a tan buff colour, just mottling all over just to make it look dirty. I'll probably flick a bit of, get a toothbrush or something, flick some, I don't know, some sort of wash or something, oil stains, so just to represent a bit of oil staining or something. So that's just about done. I just need to fill a couple of gaps again. The airbrush blew them out. I put some sand in there to fill it in, so I'll do that. Move that. Oh, it's solid pine, that base, so it's decent weight. I've wiped the wash back off of the aircraft, so it's looking nice and grubby now. I've painted in the navigation lights, so not the it's just the quarter glass at the end is the bit that is the light, not the one that pokes out. That must be just a clear light on the aircraft. Red on that one and red on the belly one. I've put in the little part on the tail there, little sensor, whatever it is. Now I need to clean the rest of all this, wash off everything else and start putting it together. So that'll probably be the last update of the aircraft build. I think unless something else pops up, we'll come back and look at the final display. Alright, all done. Really happy with the final result of this kit. I still can't believe that this is these guys' first model they've released. It's just exceptional. The problem I had with the fitting in the cockpit, I'm pretty sure it's something, maybe because I broke the underside of it, something didn't line up, because everything else just fits well. The only negative I would say is some areas needed putty because of some of the gaps, because it's sort of plug fit for the parts, and some of them just need a bit of putty. Again, that was my experience. Maybe when you build yours, you may not have that issue. Most of those weapon pylons, I think I only glued 2 of them, the drop tank ones. The other ones are just pushed in. They're pretty firm fit. The wing wheels, I had trouble with the actual tyre or the rim onto the bit that holds the wheel. They were too wide, so I glued them and put a rubber peg on them and let them sit for an hour until the glue went off, because they're too wide, so they were too wide for the wheel. And the main wheels and the belly, I think be careful when you put the rims in, because it's keyed, the gear leg is keyed for the wheels, but mine, the flat spot didn't line up. I had to, basically I just twisted them around to get it lined up, and I didn't even, they're not glued either. Everything, the nose gear and the main gear has got real big positive plug fits, so you really can't go wrong. And all the wheels are touching the ground, which is always a bit of a concern with a Harrier, because you got the 4 points of contact. So it's just so well engineered. I'd say the guys involved in this is a first for this company, but I'd say they're involved with something else along the way. Already I've seen aftermarket decals coming out, like new ones for the AV-8B, so you're going to be spoilt for choices as to what schemes you can do with it. and because the kit's modular, I'm going to guess that there'll be other versions, as in I would imagine they would do the Royal Air Force some stage and the Royal Navy, and because you got I think Italy use it and Spain, so you might get some of those. As to Italy and Spain, I don't know if it's identical to this or not, I've no idea, but you don't get markings for those countries in the box, so they may down the track release some more. I'm really hoping. I contacted them and asked them what their next model would be. They just said a jet, so I hope it's something new, because I'm really keen to see what else they release. I will be straight onto it because this is just great kit. So I'm going to take some still photos as per usual now to add to the end of this video. So hopefully when you build it, I've shown you what to look out for, the problems I had, which is problems I created, some of them, and it's really good kit. I'm telling you, it's a great kit. You will enjoy it. Alrighty, thanks for watching.